time, weather, and...
Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd. And I'm Todd. We're going to do a request. This request comes in from a good number of different YouTubers. And I believe, but I'm not positive, that all these YouTubers are from Australia. So I want to do a shout out to Australia. Hello, Australia, from the United States of America. You're watching Driving with Todd, and I'm hoping you're having a good time. So we're going to read the first comment that will give us a clue to what we're going to react to. This comment comes in from my reaction to Skyhooks doing the song Women in Uniform. The YouTuber, this is a great name too, the YouTuber goes by the name of Skull and Crossbones 65. Well, Skull and Crossbones writes this. Good day. I think there's only one Skyhook song that should follow this. Girls Just Like Me, 'cause I'm good in bed. What a great name for a song. Some of their songs got plenty of airtime on the radio, others got banned. And I would imagine this one got banned. Just my imagination. Once you have got through the Skyhooks playlist, have a listen to Redgum, named after a type of eucalyptus tree. So there's one hint. We're going to listen to a group called Redgum. The next comment comes in from my reaction to Cold Chisel doing the song K-San. And the YouTuber that's making the request goes by the name of Terry Casson. And Terry writes this. If you think this is powerful, try listening to another Aussie band, Redgum, and their song I Was Only 19. Great reaction, Todd. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate that. Another YouTuber, again commenting to my Cold Chisel reaction to Kaysan, is a YouTuber that goes by the name of Wendy Beekle. And Wendy writes this. This song and Redgum's I Was Only 19 are unofficial Anzac Day songs. Anzac Day is the day when we honor our servicemen and women from all conflicts, starting with a dawn service on April 25th each year since 1916, World War I. Cold Chisel is a classic pub rock band that earned their chops playing pubs in the 70s and 80s. They were incredible live, so much better than in the studio. And if you watch there in the Round Concert 2003, you'll see exactly what I mean. So, the last two YouTubers making comments gave away the song we're going to be reacting to, and that song is I Was Only 19. So another YouTuber, again from my Cold Chisel reaction to Kaysan, is a YouTuber that goes by the name of Barn Owl. And Barn Owl has recommended other songs in the past. You must check out Redgum's A Walk in the Green Light, aka I Was Only 19. Another story about the war in Viet Nam. Also, Eric Bogle's The Band Played Waltzy Matilda about World War I. These songs are played especially around Anzac, Australian and New Zealand Army Corps' Day, on the 25th of April. It's a day of remembrance for all military and associated groups who are engaged in the wars. So I think that's really cool that they have a day like that and that so many of the YouTubers are commenting on that day and the respect they have for their military who fought to keep their freedom. I think that's really, really cool. So that's Barn Owl. And again, he's given the full name of the song, A Walk in the Green Light, aka I Was Only 19 by Redgum. Another YouTuber, again from my Cold Chisel reaction to Kaysan, goes by the name of Jane at the Rock. And Jane writes this, I Was Only 19, Redgum, as others have said, is also a must, but also another song and different war, but is also a must, is Eric Bogle and the Band Played Waltzing Matilda. And from the female nurse point of view, Rachel by Russell Morris, nowhere near as big or nowhere near as epic as the others. So that's kind of interesting. And I want to make a real quick comment. So I watched a mini series on the Anzac nurses in World War I that I think was produced in Australia, and it was a dynamite program. So I just wanted to mention that since Jane mentioned the female nurses that helped in the different wars. So very cool, very cool miniseries about the Anzac nurses. So let's go on here. This is the last comment, and this comment again from my Cold Chisel reaction to Quezon is from Michael O'Mara. And Michael O'Mara writes this: "Mate, I'm glad you liked it. In Australia, it's almost our national anthem. We all know the lyrics. May I also recommend I Was Only 19 by Redgum." Again, I Was Only 19 by Redgum. Another vet song that is heard everywhere in Australia, especially on Anzac Day. To all our past and current serving military personnel from all our countries, thank you, lest we forget. We should never forget the men and women that served in our military to keep our freedom. Great. This is going to be great. So I did a little bit of research, not a lot of research, because there were so many comments. But the song I Was Only 19, or as they say, A Walk in the Green Light, is a song written by Redgum. And the song is about the Australian and New Zealand military in Vietnam and what they went through in Vietnam. So I'm anxious to hear this. There was quite a number of videos, and a lot of them were, I'm going to say, fan-based, made videos with slides and pictures and some animation of Vietnam and going along with this song. So I didn't know which one to pick, so I just picked one. So I'm anxious to see how that goes. Now, the group Redgum is, from my understanding, kind of a folk group, more of a folk group than they would be a rock group. So that'd be interesting. They're not, from my understanding, they're not like Cold Chisel. They're more folky. They have a lot of acoustic instruments, and they're formed in 1975. So with that said, let's listen to Redgum do the song I Was 19.
Mum and Dad and Denny saw the passing out parade at Puckapunyal. It was a long march from cadets. The 6th Battalion was the next to turn. It was me who drew the card. We did Canungra, Shoalwater before we left. And Townsville lined the footpaths as we marched down to the quay. This clipping from the paper shows us young and strong and clean. And there's me in me slouch hat with me SLR and greens. God help me, I was only 19.
Wow, that's powerful. I mean, that's really powerful. I love the acoustic guitars, and the guy singing the song has kind of and I don't want to slight him at all, but has kind of like a little bit of an Irish accent to give it that Irish folk sound to the song. And I think I don't know the location, so they're talking about a lot of different locations in Australia that these soldiers went through before they left the mainland for Vietnam. But it's just so well put together. A little bit of heaviness. At least that's what it sounds like. We're getting to a little bit more heaviness in the instrumentation. But so far, really, really interesting song, and very, very folky. Very folky.
I was only 19. From Bungtow riding Chinooks to the dust at Newey Dat, I'd been in and out of choppers now for months. And we made our tents a home, VB and pin-ups on the lockers, and an Asian orange sunset through the scrub. Can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? The night time's just a jungle dark and a barking M16. And what's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19.
Oh, powerful, like I say, powerful. So, the same type of situation happened here in the United States when the vets came home from Vietnam. That war was so different, I think, than any other war our troops fought in. It was just so covert, and there was so much guerrilla warfare, and there was so much, I want to say, terrible things that happened in that war. But so this vet came home that's singing the song here, and now he can't sleep at night. The doctor can't tell him why. He breaks out in rashes. So it's all this after effect of the war that really, I think, in a lot of cases, was worse for these soldiers than when they're actually over in Vietnam. And I don't mean that tongue in cheek. It's they just had so many problems when they came home because they weren't used to what they went through. It was just so different than what they grew up in, what country they grew up in, and how they grew up, and to fight a war that was just so different than anything else we ever fought in. It just affected so many minds. And that same thing happened to our Vietnam vets here in the United States as well. Let's keep on going.
I was only 19. A 4-week operation.
Well, I don't mean to stop it again, but I just, when I turned it off before, I was going to say something about that drum in there. Also, it's a really hard pounding drum. It hits you right in the chest when it goes off, and it's like, those are the guns going off in the war itself, and the way that it's placed as well, where the singer goes, "I was only 19," and then those drums pound in like that. They even stop like the vocals just to get that in there, and that wasn't by accident. That was on purpose, because it really makes you feel what was going on at the time in battle. Just really cool how they're doing this song. Let's keep on going.
God help me, I was only 19. A 4-week operation, when each step could mean your last one on 2 legs. It was a war within yourself, but you wouldn't let your mates down till they had you dusted off. So you closed your eyes and thought about something else. And then someone yelled out, "Contact!" and the bloke behind me swore. We hooked in there for hours, then a God almighty roar. And Frankie kicked a mine the day that mankind kicked the moon. God help me, he was going home in June.
There too, how many times have you seen a movie about Vietnam? And in that movie, there was a guy that was short term. He was only there for a short term, and yet they had to go out on another patrol, or their fire base got attacked, or something of that nature, and didn't make it. Short term, couple of days, maybe a week or two, and wasn't able to go home. And that's what that verse was about, where he stepped on a landmine and shattered his body. Just, all those images just really get to me every time I think about that, because again, I didn't serve in Vietnam. I missed it by a year, but I had a lot of family friends and friends that I knew that did serve, and the memories just keep on coming back. Let's keep on listening.
He was going home in June. drinking tinnies in the Grand Hotel on a 36-hour rec leave in Bungtown. And I can still hear Frankie lying screaming in the jungle till the morphine came and killed the bloody row. And the Anzac legends didn't mention mud and blood and tears, and the stories that my father told me never seemed quite real. I caught some pieces in my back that I didn't even feel. God help me, I was only 19. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? And why the Channel 7 chopper chills me to my feet? And what's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what?
Well, that's interesting too. That they have a comparison between a Huey that was used in Vietnam and then a chopper used on television news. And the person said, "Why can't I tell the difference?" You know, it affects me in the same way seeing that Channel 7 news chopper and a Huey that we used in Vietnam. So all of these memories keep on coming back to these Vietnam vets. And it must be so hard to get through the day sometimes. Wow, just very powerful.
7 chopper chills me to my feet. And what's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means? God help me, I was only 19.
Wow, that was pretty powerful. And the video. I mean, the video made by this channel. I'm guessing the channel that put it up there. It really helped you see the song. The song is a powerful song. It has powerful words. Some of it, is unique to Australia and New Zealand, I believe, and didn't understand some of the terms used that aren't used here in the United States. But the images that went along with the words to the song just, it just made it that much more powerful. And like I said, it was one of those wars that you wonder, why did it happen? Why were we even there? Shouldn't Korea have been the last big war that we were in? And I think Australia might have been in the Korean War as well. I know there was European nations because it was a NATO type war, but it wasn't. Vietnam, and lasted for so long, and it didn't seem like it was going to end. And there's one scene in there where there was some young people and they had a sign about stop the war, and I'm not sure, but I'm guessing in Australia and New Zealand they were having protests as well to stop the war, because that was a big deal here in the United States. All college campuses were in siege at times with the protests against this particular war that we hadn't seen before in any other war. We didn't see that in Korea. We didn't see that in World War II, World War I. This was the first war that people actually spoke out against and said, this is an unholy war. We need to end it now. And the lyrics to this song just point out all of the, what can I say, all the madness of the Vietnam War. It just, again, friends that I knew. My best friend, his brother was in Vietnam. My parents' best friends, their son was in Vietnam. He drove a Jeep for a chaplain. I had a neighbor through the yard in Vietnam, and he died over there. He didn't come home alive. So this touched so many people in so many different ways. And these songs that these groups like what Redgum wrote here, just bring out that sadness and the madness. It's just, let's stop these wars. We don't need them. Let's all live in peace. Okay, enough of that. I really, really enjoyed this. This was really a fantastic song. It had that folk sound to it. I love the instrumental backtrack, especially those drums. And I had stopped the video when those drums came in after they sang the part "I was only 19," and they did that several times in the song, and it was almost like gunfire going off, those drums. And the other thing I really thought was kind of neat in this video is whenever they went into the line "I was only 19," they always had the same soldier and his face, and that was powerful as well. Very cool, very good recommendation. Yeah, this is really a very, very interesting, very, very good song. I can see why it's so popular in Australia for Anzac Days. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed listening to this song, watching the video, listening to a little bit of my comment. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. If you have any comments about Redgum doing the song "I Was Only 19," please put it in the comments below. I'd really appreciate that as well. I read every comment. I can't answer and respond to each one, but I do read them all. And I really enjoy what people have to say about the song, about the video, and about my reactions. Now, I'm going to take a link to this video, which again, like I said, it was kind of cool. I just kind of picked one, but this was really well done. And I'm going to take a link to this video and put it in my description below. So if you want to watch it again and not have me stop it, and I apologize, I stopped this video probably more than I stopped most videos, but there was so much to talk about in this song and in this video. I just had to stop it and talk about those things at that time. So I'm going to take a link to that, put it in my description, pick on that link, it'll open up and play for you. I'm also going to put a link to the channel that uploaded this video in my description below. So you might want to check out that channel. They might have some other really cool videos out there for you to watch. Now, have you subscribed to Driving with Todd? If you haven't, why don't you do it right now? Go below this video and hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. If you go over here and ring the bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. Yeah, I want to thank everybody that commented and said, listen to "I Was Only 19" by Redgum. It's a fantastic song. And yes, it is a fantastic song. I can't say it put a smile on my face, but if I want to say I enjoyed it, and in that way it put a smile on my face, that's what I'm going to say it. So I'm hoping you enjoyed it too, and in that way put a smile on your face too. And peace out, peace to the world, and let's stop war.